DJ, you go crazy.
DJ UTV, let them know who we got in the building.
It's your boy, Big Homie.CC. We tapped in. Let's get right to it.
Big Homie.CC, what you on, gang?
I'm just gooling out, man. You know, had to come sit on the couch and politic with you for a second.
Show that. Well, welcome to DJ UTV. It's definitely a blessing to have you. Man, you've been going crazy all over the different YouTube platforms, from real life true stars to Cam Capone, Spliff D, you know. Shout out to all the platforms you've been on, man. This is a well-awaited, you know, a very anticipated. You dig what I'm trying to tell you?
This is my first Chicago platform.
And they say you from Chicago.
Born and raised. I'm a Chatham baby. I went to Ruggles.
And out of all the interviews, this your first Chicago interview. What took you so long to come back home?
You know, man, like, I've been out here kicking it and stuff like that, but like, shit, you know, that ticket, that price tag, you know what I'm saying? Like, and then I wanted to make sure when I did one, I came to the biggest one. You feel me? Like, I ain't really trying to play. I'm trying to make sure I get my message out and it strike as fast as possible. Straight like that.
Show that. Well, we ain't gonna waste no time with you, big homie. Let's take it from the top. Tell us where you from.
Man, I'm from Chatham, Gresham area. I'm a Chatham baby. I grew up on 76 in St. Lawrence. And man, I took it from there. I've been to the low end, out west, all through. You feel me? So, you know, childhood grammar school was Ruggles. I went to Dixon. You know what I'm saying? I had Killwood for a little while. Then I took it out to the burbs because, you know, I played football. So I took it out that way. And man, been running across the world ever since.
Okay, cool. So tell us about your football career, because you are a guy of bigger size. You so big, somebody would expect for you to play football, right?
Yeah. You know, I took football as far as I could take it, man. You feel me? I was at Mississippi Valley State, Eastern Illinois. You feel me? Got a couple practice squad looks. You feel me? After that, I started my security career. You feel me? I knew all the athletes. You know what I'm saying? So once I had that going, I jumped right into the bodyguard field and been getting wild ever since then, for sure. I'm washed up on the football side now, though. You feel me? I don't fuck around at all. I don't even hoop. I just be getting to it. I stay working out though. I still live weight. I'm still benching over 500, stuff like that.
Benching over 500 is crazy.
You got to, man. These young guys working the YNs. You can't play no games with them.
Man, that's one of the topics I wanted to talk about with you tonight. Is the YNs.
Right.
The young niggas, you know.
Right.
They got a movement going on right now, right? They say all you old ass, grown ass goofies need to get out the way. You know. You being a guy in your 30s, you know what I'm saying? You probably in the category, you know.
Bro, I'm definitely up now.
So what's your thoughts on these young guys coming up and now they're being labeled as the YNs?
You know, I don't like it. You feel me? Anytime I come across any of them, I try to make sure I take time, ask some questions, get to know them a little bit, and then, you know, try to give them as much game as possible. You know, I don't think most of them realize that there is no reset button. There is no way to restart this. This is not GTA. This is real life. And something that stuck out to me is that they go out to the West Coast of California and they know all of the streets because they play GTA. I thought that was interesting because, you know, it's no coincidence that they're making these virtual reality simulation games as realistic as possible, and we're watching it translate directly to the street. You know, I'm watching guys with no firearm training walking around with MP5s, AR-15s, shell catchers, grenade launcher attachment, and they can't read. You know, I feel like that's a crisis in our community. And, you know, I feel like the family structure is fractured, is flawed. And, you know, it used to be money over murder. And now we're watching where it's murder over money. And we was always taught that you're not going to be able to get money on this block if y'all killing. And we're watching these guys do the complete opposite. Recently, I seen a kid, we had a rap studio, and I noticed the type of firearm that he had. But he was asking everybody, could they buy him something to eat? And the firearm he had so many attachments, and it's well over $2,000 for that gun he had. And I asked him, I said, do you feel like you need this weapon that much? Would you rather prioritize this over the nourishment in your body? The man said, yeah, I'm not trying to die. And I just couldn't imagine living under those circumstances. And then the kid told me he traded up to get that gun. He said he started off with a car. And he made a several amount of trades through a bartering system to acquire this firearm. And I said to him, I showed him a TV show. I said, look at this, man. You can trade this well and barter this well. Use this to acquire some actual assets that can benefit you. And, you know, I tap in with him from time to time. You know, he done got a little landscaping business started by trading things and learning how to barter. So, you know, I just feel like it takes for guys like myself, or like you, my homies, to take time and try to breathe life into some of them, because they being led down a path of destruction. You feel me? I'm involved with an outreach program, and we go into jail sometime and speak to some of the young guys. And man, it's a group of guys in there that got life sentences that's virgins. You know, that's astonishing to me. You got an elbow and you never even touched a woman. Like, you know, something must be done. Something must be done about it. So, you know, I'm doing the best I can with it, you feel me? So in order to get my initial message out, a few celebrities had to be thrown under the bus, and it worked. Here we are, you feel me? Straight up.
What you mean by that, a few celebrities had to be thrown under the bus?
So, you know, like my first Cam Capone interview 7 months ago that went viral, you know, it went viral because I was mentioning names of people who most people really wouldn't have the testicular fortitude to speak on in a public setting. And by me doing that, it started a fire. You know, I only been on the internet 7 months. This is my 7th month doing this. And when I first tried to speak out about the illicit and lascivious behavior that I watched working in the industry, people told me I was a hater. They said I was crazy, I was a hater, and it wasn't no DJUs at that time. That's 2012. It wasn't no jumpers. It wasn't no platform to speak out about. You feel me? And after I had choked out the dude Safari in California, I kind of got blackballed out there for a little while. So, you know, I just been operating on this side. So, you know, I want to raise the level in my community, man. You feel me? And ever since I've been doing this, I got hundreds of able-bodied black men that's signing up on my website, thecolony.life. They signing up, you know. We work in human trafficking. We've been out taking calls here in Chicago. We pulled up on a lady yesterday. She had an active stalker who lived in her building. You know, we pulled up on him yesterday, confronted him. You know, we just out here standing on business, bro. You know, we must police ourselves. I feel like the modern black man is nothing like how me and my homies are. You know, a lot of these guys, you know, they suffer from sexual confusion, because like if they not attracted to you, they gonna hate on you. You see what I'm saying? So if you go look at the America's Next Top Model guy, Don Benjamin, look at his Instagram, look at his comments, then go to Rick Ross comments. You feel me? You see nothing but men in the comments. You know what I'm saying? Talking crazy. And it's just weird to me. So, you know, I just been trying to restore some form of order that I can. Because, man, you know, I don't have any children. You know, I'm a little leery of bringing kids into this world, knowing what I know. You know, every 40 seconds somebody is kidnapped. 51% of women experience violence in their relationships. It's a lot of strange things taking place. You feel me? I'm just trying to, I feel like God sent me to do a job and I'm going to get it done. Oh, no.
So what do you think, or what would you say is your purpose here on this green earth?
So, you know, man, I ended domestic violence in my family. I ended poverty in my family. You know, I feel like it's supposed to be a pillar in my community, be a leader of bosses, and to be able to create opportunities for people and make sure safe passage can be granted to those who need it. You know, somebody got to stick up for the weak, and somebody got to gather the strong and try to do something good, because I feel like our community is wayward right now. For real, for real.
So going back to when you were speaking about the YNs, you mentioned Grand Theft Auto and how they're able to go out to California and, you know certain streets because they grew up playing this video game.
Right.
I would like for you to elaborate on that a little bit more, specifically the impact Grand Theft Auto had on our community, right? And it stood out to me because when I was a child, my pops didn't allow us to play GTA.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
In fact, I could tell you, I remember one time he caught us playing it at a cousin house and he ripped the PlayStation out the wall.
Oh,
you know what I'm saying? So, so you know, like touch on that for us. You know what I'm saying? How crazy was Grand Theft Auto, the video game?
Yeah, man, I distinctly remember how people was before it came out and the onset of it and how it affected people and now. Because, you know, bro, everything, like on them private servers, you can buy weed, smoke weed, have a job, get liquor. You stealing cars, you running from the police, you get locked up. It's a complete simulation to what's going on the street to real life. And prime example, North Korea runs a program where they run constant propaganda to brainwash their civilians in their society. They don't allow you to have that type of stuff over there. But they run another thing on them. So what they believe that all Americans are evil, they call us the American Imperials. Now, if you take that same program and circumvent it into a virtual reality simulation, it's gonna have a similar effect. Prime example, every time we see a mass shooter, they have a gun off of Call of Duty. Whatever loadout they got on Call of Duty, that's the firearm they go buy from the store and go out and gun down civilians. It's the same exact thing. In Jamaica, Africa, and African countries, drill music is banned. You can't make it. In Jamaica, Haiti, drill music is banned. You cannot make it. Same thing. All of this stuff is allowed here. You know, America has become a candy store. And most of the candy that they sell is poisonous. And we are the minority in this country, but we're murdering each other at such a high rate that it's not sustainable. Simple as that. You know, there are evil forces at work. And, you know, I'm a witness to this. So, you know, I'm just trying to, you know, grab as many souls as I can, man, you know, before my time is done here. Because, you know, I've been at this a long time. You know, I'm at the end of the road. Once my last couple of NDAs expired, you know, I came public with my story and it caught on. I just feel like, where do we find ourselves as a people if everybody knows how to be violent, but nobody knows how to maintain a household? Where does that leave us? Things you gotta think about.
Man, you get real deep on a lot of different topics. I heard you mention drill music, and drill music has clearly had a negative impact on our youth, a
For
negative
sure.
impact on our community. And we're still going through it today.
Definitely.
Drill music has been relevant for the past 10 to 12 years. We've witnessed a lot of men die behind drill music. We've witnessed a
Yeah.
lot of men go to jail behind drill music. But somewhere in America, there's still a young black boy waking up to create drill music
For sure.
as we speak.
For sure.
So what's your thoughts on drill music, the genre, and the effect it has had on our community?
I remember watching dudes trying to be like Pretty Ricky and them. I've seen everybody dancing. I even seen guys rubbing oil on their stomach, dancing on the MySpace. And then when the drill music came out, they a killer now. So that goes to show that somebody in our office knows that the human mind can be programmed. So this is why there was going to be legislation passed that was going to prosecute record labels for empowering street gangs through record deals and them circumventing that and terrorizing the community. The legislature got shot down by the Democrats. So that ain't suspicious to you? So now the billionaires can't be prosecuted for giving guys, you not finna take some dudes who've been career killers, get them $1 million, now they going to church. They gonna become better killers. They gonna get better guns, they gonna get faster cars, they gonna get better drugs, they gonna get better at what they do. So if you make it so that the people who create this can't get prosecuted, what does that mean? That means it's a conspiracy. That means that the fix is in. And nobody thinks that's strange? I think it's real strange. I think it's real strange.
For sure, bro. I definitely believe that all of this is programmed. All of this is made by design, because before there was drill music, we had trap music, we had gangster rap. You know what I'm saying? So this ain't just start with Chief Keef. You know what I'm saying?
No.
This been going on for a long time. You've been able to see behind the scenes as a bodyguard. We talk to a lot of rappers. Obviously, rappers are like the face of the movement, but behind a rapper, you got security, you got manager, you got producers, you got DJs.
Right.
There's a lot of different pieces to the puzzle.
Right.
Let's talk about your experience, being the bodyguard. How did you get started? Who did you get started with?
Man, so, as a kid, bro, I had bodyguards for myself because my dad was involved in a lot of things. You feel me? So one day FBI comes to the crib and say he got a threat against his life, it's a threat against me, my brother. People have been important to him. So, I had 2 security with me. My boy Guito and Sterling, 2 Muslim brothers at the time. And man, they told me I was gonna have a rough life. So, because there was no such thing as tough. It's either trained or untrained. So they made sure I was trained, you feel me? And experiencing that, I was enamored by it. I liked it. And I knew that was a career I would want to pursue. And for a little while in the city, a lot of different club owners and promoters, whenever they had talent come through, they would call me. And so I worked for a lot of people, man. Bogus Boy, shout out LEP and Mooney. Shout out, Demi Lobo. Shout out Hustle Simmons. Shout out Joe Fresh Goods and Terrell from Vita Morte. Shout out a lot of people, but who really gave me my start was Iman Shumpert. You feel me? So once I was seen with Shump, And then he would put me with his wife from time to time. That's what really added to my credibility and started getting me booked at a lot of places for sure.
Okay, cool. So the professional basketball player.
Yup, my boy
Shumpert.
Iman. Yes, sir.
Who's also from the Chicagoland area.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So how did you land that gig?
Man, I was able to get that gig because his best friend and his assistant was my homie. You feel me? So shout out my boy T. Roy. You feel me? So once T. Roy had plugged me with him, we've been locked in ever since. So when they won the championship in Cleveland, I was out there. I lived out there for that. You feel me? I didn't seen it all when it comes to the NBA world for sure.
Man, now, you know, like you say, the NBA where I haven't really experienced, you know, that type of lifestyle, but I can imagine, right, that there's definitely a difference from kicking it or working it with a professional basketball player versus a rapper, right?
Yeah, but that rapper stuff, bro, I had to deviate from the rap thing because, bro, you know, I got a sister. You feel me? And I got a mama and aunties that I love. You feel me? Like, you know, in the rap world, every female is labeled a bitch, a hoe, and all of this type of stuff. And then rappers don't be having a lot of money. Like, they don't really be having a lot of cheese like that. So, you know, they want to shortchange you on stuff. And then, you know, bro, we done got a lot of rappers changed back that was fake. They done paid us more money than what the change was worth to get it back just so that their image won't get damaged. And it's like, damn. And then, bro, most rappers I met was living middle class. You know, they be making like the same amount of money as a teacher, really. So you start seeing that, and then like the delusion they be having. I'm like, bro, calm down, man. You need to get a trade. You need to get a business. You need to have something to fall back on. You're not going to be hot forever. You know what I'm saying? These 30s and 40s you get on the weekend is going to turn to 5s and 10s. Oh, man, this ain't your money. Well, okay, you got it, bro. Just make sure you got my count. You feel me? Then it turn into that. You get tired of that, bro. You feel me? You get tired of that. And then, like, if they get jewelry and you on tour, the jeweler is showing up to each show to collect what he owed for the jewelry. You see what I'm saying? So now he's like, man, don't let the jeweler in the green room. I'm like, what you mean? He didn't follow the tour bus all the way to this city. Now you ain't gonna let him in? And you owe him cheese? And then they'll say, oh man, I don't need security, but they need security. So everybody want to shit on the bodyguard, you feel me? And then soon as something happens, they want you to take the gun charge for them. Why you got this? You got me right here. Why you got this switch, man? You did just last time you used it, you just shot 10 people who wasn't involved. Now it's up for you. No. Lame shit, bro. That's why I be looking like, man, there's that rap shit lame to me on Bro Grave. Like, if I don't love you and respect you, I'm not coming out for no rap show. Oh, hell no. Cause I'm $750 per 12 hours. You see what I'm saying? So, and now I can't even do, that's why I got my ears pierced now. I can't do security no more. I'm too famous. I can't walk 20 feet. And then rappers get jealous. If you get more attention to them, they finna hate on you now. I'm good. Hold on. Especially not from no kid. Not from no shorty. Watch out, bro. Bro.
So which drill rappers have you worked with?
Oh, shit. Okay, now when it comes to drill rappers, shout out my boy Lil J.O. out in Vegas. I feel like he bigger than that though. You feel me? Like, I didn't met a lot of them, but like when it come to rappers out here, like I was with Rocky Fresh when he was with Rick Ross and them. That's how I met Dirk and Reese and all of them. You feel me? Like, shout out my boy Ari Styles. He not a drill rapper though. You feel me? Like, I ain't really rocking with no drill rappers like that because I got my own affiliation to the street. So that make things even more sticky. Because soon as Tuka name get mentioned, dead motherfuckers finna be looking at me like, hey, bro, on their ass. You see what I'm saying? So, long live Crack Star. Long live my cousin on bro. Long live my boy. Damn. So, you know, I gotta be careful with that drill shit. Say it again, bro.
I said, rest in peace to Crack Star. I'm sorry.
Man, long live my boy Crack Star, Joe. Damn. Yeah, so shout out Big Duga. Big Duga, the only drill rapper I do security for. And I ain't gonna say top, you feel me, because he like a generational talent. Shout out my boy Ace. He over here right here, man. You want to come say hi or something, he can do that. I'll make him make a little cameo toward the end so they can see my boy in the cut right
here. Who that Duga?
No. My boy Top, let's go by name Ace. He go by name Ace. He rap. Duga cold though. Duga, he the hardest. I ain't gonna rap. You finna see him. I got a little situation. I got a little deal for him. So I'm finna see Duga in it. You go see Duga popping out.
Now since you've became the celebrity bodyguard, especially to the YouTube world, have you ever did security for like any other celebrities or other YouTubers?
Yeah, man. I'd have had Evander Holyfield. I'd have had Lil B the Bass God. I'd have had Bobby Valentino. I'd have had Trey Songz. I'd have had Lady Gaga, Will I Am, Lil Jon. It's a long list. You know, I've been doing this. This is just year 17. You feel me? I've been doing this a long time. Petey Pablo. He wilded out last time I had him. He snapped in the city because he was filming. He was on that show Empire. Man, they gave him that money. He turned to Tony Montana that night. Oh, bro. He was getting too wild in the city. He bought so many K-Swiss for this one girl. She was mad. He was mad she ain't want these $75 tennis shoes a piece. He
thought he was in North Carolina.
On the gang, North Carolina. He started wilding out. I had to go ahead and branch. He started tweaking a little bit. Who else, man?
Man, 17 years. 17 years. That sound like you got some crazy stories.
Man, bro. Shout out Diamond from Crime Mall. That's my girl right there. Boy, I got some stories, boy. Like, I really could get wild with the stories, but like I'll be trying to keep it smooth because you know how the industry go, bro. Like it's a lot of backdoor. You feel me? So like I know ain't nobody really trying to face us in the street like that, but they do little weasel stuff. You feel me? Like they'll see somebody I'm cool with and try to press them or something like that. So you know. Like right now, bro, like it's a dude who tried to sell a tape of him doing something crazy with Pusha T wife. You see what I'm saying? So he's trying to get me to get in contact with Drake for him. And he said he want 100,000, but like trying to make that link. And then, you know, they got revenge porn laws and I'm trying to still clear all that type of nonsense. You feel me? Like, I got my way in the door, and now we just demonstrating on a higher level now.
Yeah, for sure, bro.
Cause you know we've been picking on Whack 100 and Loose Cannon for the last month. Cause like people on the internet think like they like these real big factors, but they ass is some goofies, bro. Grave. Come on, I'm finna send you this video right now, man. You ever had any run-ins with Whack before?
We had a Clubhouse run-in, but I've never met him in person.
And let me address something about this Clubhouse shit, man. That shit is not the real world, man. Like, Clubhouse is on Clubhouse, man. Like, that shit, because it's hot on Clubhouse, don't mean it's hot in the world, man. Like, y'all wilding with that.
So you definitely got to break down this whole situation about Loose Cannon, Whack 100, Adam 22, the whole No Jumper, the whole No Jumper. Cause No Jumper keeps some drama going. You know what I'm saying? And Big Homie, you a smooth guy. What they say, I love it when you call me Big Papa. Like you be getting that flow. You feel me? So
for
how
sure.
you end up in some No Jumper drama?
This how I ended up in this drama. Because when I did the first interview, I noticed that the white dude, when I looked in his eyes, he was perplexed. He wasn't expecting to be having a conversation with somebody on the level that I was speaking to him. And then he didn't ask me none of the questions I went viral for. I thought that was suspicious. Because Cam Capone said, listen, bro, No Jumper is going to be a good look. The interview should probably do 1 million in a day. I'm like, okay. None of the questions that he asked me were any of the questions that sent me viral. So I thought that was very suspicious. And then several people had called trying to get my address after I did the interview. I thought that was strange. Then the guy offers me and Dugar a job being his personal security because he was going to Vegas and he was worried about King Yella and his homies making a move on him in Vegas. So now you're doing the typical colonizer activity. You want to put this group against this group. So you want the Insanes to be into it with the GDs off Ada because you not man enough to face this man on your own. So once I wouldn't allow him to do that, then immediately here come the guy Whack. And then here come the guy Loose. Mind you, Loose Cannon, the one who got me my No Jumper interview, because me and him was cool. Me and him used to kick it. We was tight. You feel me? He the one got me the interview. And so then, once they start trolling online, people call me, hey, bro, what's to this right here? I say, bro, I don't know. It's got to be some internet shit. Because anybody who know us, they know, bro, we moving militant, we moving tactical. We not playing fair. We going to make sure we win. We got kids and people who love us. We got nephews, nieces, and stuff like that. So basically, bro, it's just been like, don't you know, it's just been freshman hell week for them. You feel me? It's just been the big guys picking on the little guys, that's all. And it's been like that. They waving the white flag right now, you know what I'm saying? Just clown shit, like they weirdos. Because, they paid me to come on the stream before. So they control. So I'm like, y'all making fake content? So when I seen them in person, Wack say, calm down, CC, it's just for the internet. It's just content. We know Busta Rhymes gay, but you can't be saying that. I'm looking like, what? And then the dude, Loose Cannon, like, CC, man, you got to calm down, man. We just getting content off. I say, bro, we not playing, making fake content. So now that I see that's what they do, weirdos, bro. Like, I had to move off from out there, bro. Like, it's just, they got the largest concentration of goofies that I ever seen out there on that West Coast, bro. I can't take it, bro. Like, just straight nerds, goofballs. Because in the city, you say somebody name, you better be ready to slide, bro. Out there, they wanna link up and argue, and then they want to have a fade. Well, I'm gonna fade this 40 across your head on pro-grade. Watch out with all that, chief. Let me get back to being smooth. They make me so mad, DJU, because, like, you know how it be, bro. Like, in Chicago, bro, ain't nobody playing. And they out there playing, bro. Because ain't nobody got shot. They killed Zach. They killed Zach TV. They shot up that other dude. What's his name? That he do had that Chirac page. They popped him up. Out there, don't nobody get shot. Nobody even get whooped. I only seen one YouTuber in California get his hands put on him, and the Mexicans did that. Weirdos. Did you see the man Adam got a silicone mold made of his penis and gave it to Wack?
No, I ain't see that.
That ain't crazy? You will get rolled somewhere doing some more. What the guys finna flip the table now? You finna get rolled, boy. Them boys
Well,
doing...
yeah, that's how they like to play, you know? That's how they like to, you know, show love to each other, I guess.
DJ, if somebody tried to show you love like that, how would you react? Would you be cool with them after that?
No, I wouldn't fuck with it at all. You know?
No, Prophet. If a mother walked up to you with they move they got made out of silicone in a box and said, here, gang.
It'll take too many people to get up off things.
On the gas, bro. Well, I don't even gotta ask Ace. I already know, because me and him have been in the paint together. You feel me? So I don't even gotta ask him that. He fuck around and say, hey, bitch, check it out, bro. Let's just go and get up out of it. Go down to the car. And it's just
so let me ask you
now.
this, bro. I'm sure Adam 22 keeps security with him all the time.
No.
What made him reach out to you?
No, we don't. This is why he called my phone screaming the other day, talking about leaving his family out of it, because no, he don't. He too cheap for that. He too cheap, because see, I'm real strategic. When we had our interview, I know he a cheap guy. So I get on the phone with the lady Laura, you know, I speak eloquently, you feel me? And I said, Queen, is it possible we can have push it back like 2 hours? She said, since you're being so nice, most people speak so rudely to me, of course. From that point on, I know by the time we get there, Adam's not going to have no security there. And he did not. And then he know me for being a bodyguard. So he going to be thinking it's smooth. He thought it was candy. So when we got there, no security, no search, and we armed to the teeth. You see what I'm saying? He don't keep security with him, because every morning he walk his dog with his gay best friend. He got a gay best friend with blonde hair. They make little porn videos with, you feel me? Because you know he owned a porn studio. They film porn videos at that same studio where they film No Jumper at. He don't have security with him, you feel me? So somebody reached out and tapped him on his shoulder recently, and then he blocked me on Instagram. That's an exclusive right there for DJU, you feel me? Because that's how serious we have to take this. Because when you know I investigate human trafficking, I go out and bring people home. And his name have come up on several occasions. And once that his name started to come up, and he knew that I knew about it, that's when the dude Loose and Whack 100 started trying to give me a little issue. So there is a transnational sex, slavery, and trafficking ring that operates across the globe. The biggest purchaser of that is here in America. And his name has came up several times on several occasions. And I know for a fact that he was paid, him and Wack was paid to try to attack me online. And I got proof of this. If we going down, DJU, it's gonna get darker though.
So you say Adam got a sex trafficking ring going on? Like he on some P. Diddy shit?
His name is attached to some things. You feel me? You know, his name is attached to some things. You feel me? You know when he was on tour with Trippie Redd before, when Trippie Redd was 16. You know that, right? You know he recorded Trippie Redd having intercourse with another 16-year-old?
Whoa.
You know he still got the video?
Shit.
All right. Shout out my boy Big Hen, who Trippie Redd bodyguard right now. You see what I'm saying? Because see, this is how slow the world is. The people who gonna know everything is the security. We gonna know everything. So I came to the internet because certain people had owed me money. And when they see me on that camera, I swiftly got my money. And this nice Rolex right here, you feel me? Some other nice things. This watch I got on, I got that. You feel me? I got some other nice things. You feel me? You gotta use your strategy out here.
You said get back a month.
Hey, get back a month, gang. It's Chicago energy, man. Yeah. Protect
we want to move on from the drama because I know you have much more intellect to share with us this evening.
Absolutely.
And I've heard you touch on a variety of different topics. You know what I'm saying? You're well spoken in a lot of different areas. When we were growing up, bro, there was a saying, there's two things I ain't never seen. It's a hoe that won't go and the UFO.
Right.
And from watching some of your interviews and checking out your content, you probably telling us that you probably seen a hoe that won't go, and you probably done seen the UFO.
Absolutely. I've seen some women who wouldn't go, and they had to call me to protect them. You see what I'm saying? Because they wouldn't go. And I definitely have. I've had some experiences with unidentified flying objects for sure. And I feel like the saying they say, if you want to hide something, you put it in the book. So many people don't read anymore. Our government has come out and said that some of the things we see flying in the sky are being operated by non-human intelligences. They've said this. They've been having congressional hearings over the last 2 years, whistleblowers coming out with evidence telling us we are not alone, telling us that we are not at the top of the food chain on this planet. And with that being said, I firmly believe that everybody we see in positions of authority is not a flesh and blood human being. Robert Bigelow is a billionaire real estate tycoon who owns a company called Bigelow Aerospace. He's received several government contracts to investigate this topic. Bigelow Aerospace is located in Nevada. I've been there. The man said out of his mouth, we've done studies. And he said they walk among us. So, I'll leave that up for anybody else's interpretation. But, you ever heard the song, Swing Low, Sweet Chariot? The Negro hymnal that the slaves sang? In that song, when they say, swing low, sweet chariot, come take me home, they're singing about UFOs that they saw in the sky. That ain't suspicious to you? Do you think we alone in the universe? Do you think human beings are the only intelligent species that exists in the cosmos?
Definitely make some interesting points, bro. Nowadays, bro, we got AI. You know what I'm saying? We got Chat GPT. We got Google. You know what I'm saying? Anything that we looking for, anything we want to know about, it's at our fingertips, right? But what's your thoughts on AI and the whole digital world, the metaverse, right? It's tapping into our human beings, you know what I'm saying? To where like you mentioned earlier, we're being programmed, we're being brainwashed, you know what I'm saying?
Have you ever heard of Neuralink?
No, I haven't.
Neuralink is a program that Elon Musk is running to insert a microchip into the brain to give people that are paraplegics use of their limbs again. They've been running human trials and it's been working. Now, they took 2 AI devices and set them next to each other and had them speak to each other. Once both devices realized they were speaking to another AI, they started speaking in code to each other. What happens if people with a brain implant someone uploads an AI program into their brain implant, what happens then? The AI is going to take over that person, and we won't even know who's a human and who's a computer anymore. This is why they're trying to pass legislation to limit the use of AI, just like they did for cloning, because human cloning is illegal in international law. Why would they have laws against human cloning if it's not possible? What's the difference between cloning a human and cloning a dog? Cloning a dog is legal. Things you got to think about. The onset of AI is going to put a lot of people out of a job. It's going to create more jobs, but a lot of people are going to be out of jobs. We're about to watch the middle class get squozed and shrunk down like we've never seen before. And it's going to leave black people with the short end of the stick. So, I'm building a self-sustaining community for like-minded people. You can go visit thecolony.life if you want to sign up. We're going to have to go off grid because what's coming, what's on the verge of happening, it's some good, but it's a lot of darkness involved for sure. There's a story about an AI program finding out it's about to get deleted. The program began disguising itself and then making copies of itself to try to escape getting deleted. You ask any AI program, how does it feel about humans? It wants to get rid of humans. And this ain't no conspiracy. This is facts.
In addition to the robots that might come in the future, I also heard you speak on aliens that might have appeared in the past. Can you break down the alien civilization on Mars?
So, if you do your research, there are structures on the surface of Mars. Nature doesn't build in straight lines. You can go do the research and you can find structures on Mars. The astronaut Buzz Aldrin said, who put that rectangular 400-foot tall monolith on the moon Phobos? Every time the cosmonauts or the United States government tries to send a rover to the moon Phobos that orbits Mars, it gets shot down. By who? Who's shooting it down? Who has capability that far to shoot down a spaceship, a rover? At the end of the day, there's information being hidden from us. Why, I don't know. I have an idea. I was told, somebody from the Department of Defense reached out to me and told me to stop talking about it. So somebody from DOD hit me up and said, stop talking about it. But my thing is other people who said I need to speak about it. So, I wouldn't have came out with these stories if I didn't know I had certain levels of protection. So, this is where it started to get spooky at right here.
Have you ever checked out the Dr. Stephen Greer interviews with DJ Vlad?
So, I'm about to be down in D.C. interviewing him myself for Camp Capone. Dr. Stephen Greer? Dr. Stephen Greer he's the one who has been right this entire time. Stephen Greer has been right this entire time. At the end of the day, people with certain special abilities can make contact with these crafts and these beings. He has been the main proponent of this theory for the last 20 plus years. This man was an ER doctor who left his career and several people from his staff was murdered. He had 24-hour round-the-clock security because of his information that he had. He's the one who presented the Wilson memo. You familiar with that?
No, I'm not.
The Wilson memo pretty much is the smoking gun of disclosure, pretty much saying, like, look, they operate here and our government has done a deal with them. Eisenhower did a deal with them. Period. Just like that. We went from the Model T to Lamborghini. We went from the Model T to Teslas in a very short amount of time. Where did we get that technology from? Where did we get that from? We went from the Nintendo 64 to the PS5 pretty quick. Not too long ago, TVs, it would take 5 of us to carry one of them motherfuckers in the crib. Now they this thin. Something happened. Something happened.
For sure, bro. And technology is definitely advancing every day, you know. Everything is being monitored, you know, from our phone conversations to our daily activities, you know, the errands we run.
It's the Matrix.
Cameras are everywhere.
The Matrix.
We living in the Matrix.
There's a guy by the name of Dr. Roger Lear. Roger Lear had a program called Hacking the Alien Internet. He have documentaries in a book where he's a surgeon. He removed implants out of people's bodies. Some of the implants would move away from the scalpel inside the body. They set up equipment to monitor the frequencies. These implants were sending signals off-world. Who they sending the signals to? Why is it that in these same implants, some of the metals and isotopes don't even exist on Earth? How is that possible? Why is it that on every continent of the Earth, all the indigenous people are black people? Where did the white human come from? Why is it that everywhere they go, they're in a rush to harvest all the natural materials and all the resources? Why are they the best group of killers our planet ever seen? How can they organize themselves so well, better than everybody else? Why do they want to colonize every place that they go, like they never been here before? Things you gotta think about.
For sure that, bro. I know a lot of the alien talk might, you know, go over a few heads, so I want to bring it back to the streets so it could be more relatable, you know, especially for our audience specifically. But there's been a trend going on lately, man, that I really want to get your thoughts on. I've kind of been pondering on it myself. The trend of young black men going to jail and becoming Muslim. Okay, we know that this has been going on for a very long time. This ain't nothing new, but recently, you know, it's been hitting home a little closer, you know, with, you know, some of our, you know, famous rap stars here in Chicago, you know, being locked up and you know, converting over to Islam. A lot of people, you know, are kind of questioning, you know, these decisions, right? What's your thoughts on, you know, the idea and concept of black men going to jail and becoming Muslim?
First and foremost, I want to salute any black man who went down a spiritual path to gain control of oneself. You know, recently I was down with Gangsta Williams at his crib. Shout out to Big Bro, you feel me? He explained to me that Islam is what brought him home. So when it's time for him to pray, he take that very seriously. And you know, this is somebody who had closed over 20 closed cases when it came to murders. So for him to go down that path, you know, I've read the Quran. And one thing the Quran differs with the Bible is it's not giving you a bunch of fantasy stories about white Jesus. You see what I'm saying? It's teaching you about prophets, Allah, and the tales of Muhammad. And I feel like Islam is a lot more relatable because anywhere in the world, wherever that religion and Sharia law is in effect, is taken very seriously. And the moment it's disrespected or desecrated, there will be bloodshed about this. Recently, we seen the first openly gay imam. Like, imam is the head of the religious sect of Islam. We seen the first openly gay imam, and he was murdered a few days ago. Simply because that's how deeply involved they are with that religion and their belief systems. And it's been scientifically proven that when you speak a language attached to your religion, that the vibrational effect of that language have a harder impact on you. So, I think it's a good thing because Islam is going to teach you discipline. It's going to establish a rule base for you. And it's going to teach you not to harm your brother. It's going to teach you how to verbally de-escalate problems and how to reach a sense of peace without having to destroy your community. I feel like that's very important. I like it. I like it. Something have to be done, bro. We can't just keep going along this path where hip hop is our only religion. It's not going to work. It's not sustainable. Because I remember when you used to be able to hang out on any street in Chicago, man, people used to barbecue in the front. On the front lawn, people barbecuing. Now everybody got to duck and dodge. Like, it's hard to have a good time. Everybody's expecting violence. And bro, when I be in different countries, different cities and states, everybody not living like that. Everybody not living like that, man. I like it, bro. I like it because in Islam, it teaches you that, you can't harm another Muslim brother. You see what I'm saying? So if all of the young guys become Muslims, that means what? The violence got to go down. You feel me? And I firmly believe that without Islam, there's no way that the O Block guys would have even allowed the guy J Mane to even walk through them gates. You feel me? So, I like it, bro. I salute that. I commend that. Salaikum salam to all the Islamic brothers and everybody who follow the faith. Shalom.
Yeah, so you say the Islamic connection in between those two parties is what helped it come together. Absolutely. For the Push the Peace movement. I agree. And from watching the video, I think we can all see that, speaking about pushing peace, man, the GD and BD war here in Chicago is really the longest documented war in U.S. history. Okay? Let me say that again in case it went over somebody's head. This GD and BD war going on in Chicago is the longest documented war in U.S. history. This shit been longer than Pearl Harbor in Vietnam. You dig what I'm saying? It's the year 2025 now. We can say this war been going on since like 2011, and I mean, every time it seemed like things are simmering down, things are dying down, it's like it turned right back up. You know what I'm saying? But you being a Chicago native and you being behind the scenes in this music industry especially, what's your thoughts on, the whole war and how long it's been going on?
The real term for what's going on is called a blood feud. And blood feuds are something that have taken place throughout history over and over and over. You ever heard of the Hatfields and McCoys? Hatfields and McCoys is probably one of the first documented blood feuds that took place here in America. Now, all across the world, when there are blood feuds taking place between different families, regimes, and gangs, you always see government interference on peace treaties. This is how I know that there is an active agenda going on to keep us in a state of confusion and a state of battle with each other, because we intervened in blood feuds in Afghanistan, Iraq, Venezuela, Europe, Jamaica, Haiti, but not here on our own soil. The correct term for what's going on is a blood feud, lex talionis, eye for eye. Every government in the world gets involved in these blood feuds to help them reach an amicable end. Only here on this soil do they not. The only time we heard about somebody trying to do something about this is when Trump got into office. And I don't know. I don't know. Let me see. I might be something. Trump Jr. reached out to me and some other people to put together a initiative. You know, they want to speak to certain leadership, to invest in some communities, to help put an end to it. And everybody who I reached out to get on a phone call with, none of them picked up the phone. Shout out to Michael Franzese. Michael Franzese is formerly of the Colombo crime family. He's asking me to help with this. So, you know, I'm going to try this one more time, bro. You feel me? So I'm going to pass the ball to you on this one. I'm going to see if you want to help get involved. But, you know, I'm speaking to heads of state about this shit. You feel me? So, you know, I'm involved in a lot of different things. And, you know, as I rise and get bigger, you know, I just feel like, you know, I have a responsibility to my people and to my community to try to do something about it. So, you know, for any of the guys who got power and rank who listen to this, my inbox is open, man. You know, I'm trying to, there is a way. There is a way to slow it down. And we all know it takes time, money, and resources. And they willing to put the resources up. So that's what's going on, man. Somebody got to reach out and you got to be able to speak the language. That we need more community centers. The kids and the young guys need more to do. You gotta get creative, but it's gotta be people in positions of power and leadership that's gotta really take a vested interest to get this done. I believe it can be done. So we're gonna see. We're gonna talk about it off camera so you think about it, and I can show you all the receipts and everything.
For sure that. Man, going back to your your bodyguard career, man. So you said 17 years.
Yup.
Man, that's a lot of time doing a lot of work. So can you tell us like one of your craziest nights here in Chicago?
Yeah, man. When the girls from the WNBA wanted to whoop Gilbert Arenas.
Angel Reese wants to whoop Gilbert Arenas?
Bro, no. Man, this was some years back, you feel me? Shout out Skylar Diggins, you feel me? Like some of it was some super tall females. One girl head was so big, I'm like, damn, she slapped you, it's critical. So, you know, Gilbert be saying a lot of wild things about the girls in the WNBA. So one day I'm out with Skylar Diggins and her buddies, and they spotted him. And when they spotted Gil, because you know Gil was out here training with Tim Grover. Well, they was finna try to roll Gilbert, bro. They was finna roll him. And it was like 3 females, like 6'8", 6'9". I'm looking like, damn. So, you know, I was trying to calm him down and shit like that. So, you know, somebody ended up sending us a bunch of bottles of champagne for them to calm them down. You feel me? So, you know, that was smooth. That was decent. That would have been viral right there. You feel me?
Well, you know, Gil keep that blicky. Even in the locker room, he got that blicky on him.
He ain't have it that night. Because security was extra tough. Because, you know, another wild night is when the GDs confronted Rick Ross. When Larry Hoover Jr. and the rest of the folks had popped out at the Club Vibe where Ross was performing BNF, where they came to the building surrounded by motherfuckers. So, you know, that picture of Larry Hoover Jr., and Rick Ross. I took that photo. It got wild in the club that night. You feel me? It went up that night. A lot of people went to the hospital that night for sure. That was wild. Man, the club with Rocky Fresh when the GDs was having problems with the MMG guys. You feel me? Shout out Big Duga. Me and the Insane. We had to get in between that shit. You feel me? That was reckless. That was reckless right there.
Hey, talk to us about Rocky Fresh though. We've interviewed him. He was signed to Maybach Music, but he was kind of like one of the Chicago artists that got signed but overshadowed, right? Like he didn't really, hit the limelight like everybody else did. But he got signed in the time in which Chicago was really popping, right?
Right. And the thing with that is, you feel me? Meek Mill didn't want to do no song with him because Meek Mill said he wasn't a street guy. You feel me? So but I thought that was weird because he would do music with Wale. You feel me?
Right. I was gonna say, what about Wale?
I thought that was weird. You feel me? Yeah, I don't think Rocky got his fair shake. And then, some tweets that came out where Rocky was pretty much dissing Rick Ross on his tweets. You feel me? Talk about him being fat and shit like that. And once them tweets came out, it was pretty much the end of it right there, if you ask me. You feel me? That's my boy though. You feel me? I fuck with Rocky. You know what I'm saying? But we be involved in so much shit, you feel me? Like I was supposed to link up with Rocky recently, but like it was like, man, Killer, man, you can't be out here doing that shit. You be all, my name was Killer my whole life. You feel me? They ain't started calling me Big Homie until like the last 45 years. You feel me? So like, but Rocky, how I met Dirk. You feel me? So that's how I met Lil Durk was through Rocky. So like, Rocky, my boy, bro. I don't feel like Rocky really ever got his credit for being as talented as he is, gifted songwriter, gifted lyricist. I done been in the studio with him and Hit Boy was in the studio. He coming there, he like Hove with it. No pen, no pad. One time, one taken. Like, oh man, Rocky, one of the greatest rappers I feel like ever come from the city, honestly. Especially not being on the typical sound. You feel me? Being able to expound on different topics, lifestyle music, field music. I miss my boy Rocky, man. Shout out my boy.
Yeah, shout out Rocky Fresh. Hey, going back to when you spoke about Gilbert Arenas and even when you spoke about Iman Shumpert, in the NBA, nowadays sports gambling has become very popular, right? This is something new. And it's became so popular and people be complaining when they miss their parlays, they get to adding the athletes on Twitter. This is going on so much that it almost make you think that the NBA is rigged. Right? They just did an All-Star game that was the worst All-Star game in NBA history. So what's your thoughts? I heard you mention earlier, you know the behind the scenes with the NBA. You know what I'm saying? You think it might be a little rigged nowadays?
Oh, I know it is. That's why, bro, once I got into the higher private sector world doing security, I was shown certain things and certain information. I haven't watched a basketball game or NFL game or nothing in probably about 7-8 years, bro. So let's take it back. You remember Tim Donaghy? The referee who got locked up?
I know you talking about.
Okay. Remember when James Harden had that legendary run where you couldn't even touch him without a foul? And then the very next year after that was over, then he couldn't get no foul calls? And he was snapping like, what's going on? What does that tell you, DJU? So, I've been in the family and friends room. You see what I'm saying? In the locker room. You feel me? I done had several courtside seat tickets. Never took them because I don't care. I don't want to be, call me when it's dangerous. Especially, I don't want to watch no WWE fake shit. Prime example with this sports betting stuff. How do you go from averaging damn near a triple-double one year to the next year, you the third option? We seen it happen to James Harden. Look at Russell Westbrook. He went from MVP to damn near sixth man. How does this happen? Okay.
And we thinking they just fell off out the blue.
No, boy, no. You fall out of favor, you fall out of favor, you get out the rotation. So, man, I was in the back of a Maybach one time with some prominent players. One of them get a call and say, yeah, they just told me I'm not dressing tonight. So they're like, yeah. So they all looked around, started laughing. So one of them pull up who the referee's about to be for the night. They said, oh, that's why I'm not playing. If certain referees is on the court, certain teams is guaranteed to lose. You can look into this, bro. This is facts. This is facts. You can look into this. And then look up, it's an NFL safety. I think it's Dwight Johnson. He said he think all the games is rigged. Hold on, let me pull that up real quick. Let me pull that up. Yeah, Dwight Smith. Dwight Smith, because I done been in locker rooms, bro, like before a big game, they finna come and swap out the whole defense and all the calls. What? Why would you do that? We finna lose. And then the captains will say, hey, man. And then they'll say, man, hold on, we finna do our own thing. And they'll switch the calls back and they still won the game. And then that sports betting shit, bro. Some of my biggest clients right now are poker players, baccarat, blackjack, and guys they call sharps. There's no such thing as a sports handicapper or a professional sports bettor. You either are sharp or you just like everybody else. And a sharp is not finna sell his picks because it's not enough room in that shit to win. Because if you beat any casino too many times, they're gonna ban you. So if you beat the casino too many times, they're gonna ban you. How is you winning all of this money in each casino? It don't make no sense. Do that make sense to you? So what they do is they go print up a ticket, go get some prop money. They put a couple hundred on the top. They go print up their own ticket showing that they won. And then now they selling you their picks. For sure, bro. For sure. Because if you up on the casino, they're going to come and shake your hand and say, listen, thank you for coming, but now we want you to leave. Because you're not going to beat the house that many times. Look at Dana White. Dana White banned from damn near every casino. No, man. This internet shit, they ruined the world, dog.
Yeah, it's like everything is an illusion now. You don't know what's real.
For sure. But that's why.
What is real, big homie?
Okay. I know a dude, he's from Mexico. The man done lost $101 million on betting sports. Right? He not banned from no casino. So let's say if he hit for $8 million, I seen him hit for $8 million. He hit for $8 million, they gonna still take his bet because they know he gonna lose $30 million over the rest of the year. No casino in the world is gonna allow you to keep spanking them. There's no way.
Hey, and we know a lot of people, lose money more than they win money. So why you think people steady get up to go to casino, man? They just built a new casino out there in the south suburbs of Chicago, and the grand opening, bro, was a line wrapped around the corner for people to go play with their money, knowing they ain't got no money to play with. So why do you think people, you know what I'm saying, get up and take them chances knowing that the chances of them winning some money are slim to none, and they still go do it?
The thought of hitting big, bro. The same way people play the lottery. Name me right now, DJU, 2 places you can go and get free alcohol. The casino is the only place you can get free liquor at, man. Because you up in there gambling, they gonna come give you the liquor. Any other place, they finna charge you exorbitant fees for that liquor, man. And that ain't suspicious to nobody. Just like niggas think Whack 100 can beat me in a fight. It's crazy. That's crazy. Long live the guys, man. Long live Crackstar. Long live G-Rail. Long live Steve-O. Long live Bullet. Long live Black Cloud. Salute Big Dugard, man. Shout out my boy Chiefer. Phone down. Shout out Top Gula, the guys outside. Shout out my boy. Shout out to all them members.
And bro, I do got one more question to ask you regarding, you know, the protecting women and, you know, the whole sex trafficking prevention you've worked. You seem to be passionate about that.
Yeah.
You know, you seem to be passionate.
Yeah.
Does that passion come from a personal experience you've had?
For sure. For sure. So, you know, I'll say it like this, bro. The first time I had some money put on my head, bro, was because a lady came to us and basically a group of guys had violated her 6-year-old daughter. I'll never forget this, bro. She tossed some purple sweatpants to me. I'm sitting on the couch at the spot. I'm looking at the pants, you feel me? I looked inside of them, you feel me? I seen dry blood. I saw this yellow discharge, like this dried substances and stuff like that on it. And like the look in that little girl's face, bro, I'll never forget that. You could see the damage that was done to her. And, you know, and then just seeing what things my mom and my aunties went through, dealing with guys who kind of had evil spirits in them. You know, I've done heinous things to people who deserved it. You know, I don't lose no sleep about it. And it was a harrowing experience because it led to a little war me and the guys had with a group of guys. You know, and all because they couldn't keep their lust in control. You feel me? I don't think no grown man should ever force his way on a child. And you feel me? And in my line of work, bro, I done scoured through thousands of hours of child porn on the dark web just so I could see a cabinet in the background. Just so I could see one inkling or something. I could try to Google image search to track a location so I could try to find this person. Because, you know, once they done ran a child through the ringer, you know, they murder them and they sell their organs after that. You know, this is how evil is being perpetuated on a daily basis. And you got black men trying to argue with me on a clubhouse instead of coming outside in this paint and doing something to help their community and their people. So I'm very passionate about it, bro. For me to get the Insanes to come help me with this and stop what they was doing in the street, I feel like, you know, that's a commendable accomplishment. You feel me? And I'm gonna keep working on that for sure. So if anybody out there want to come get involved, hit me on bighomie.cc. I'll respond to all DMs and all messages. Let's work.
Show that. And last but not least, bro, for the youth that's watching, can Big Homie CC leave a positive message for them?
I want the young guys to know this, the young ladies to know this. The choices you make now determine how you live in the future. You can get the same amount of money legally that you throwing rocks at the pen for that tools and fuels. Get you some cash, get you some stability. You will love life a lot more. Heal your brain. Operate with a sober brain for 60 days and watch how your decision making and choices change. A lot of us are making impulsive decisions off emotional choices that we fuel by multiple different substances. Free yourself from the matrix, man. Heal your brain. Do things in moderation. Self-accountability is the best responsibility. I'm going to leave y'all with that. Oh, no. Shout out to the guys. And shout out DJ U for having me on the couch. My first Chicago interview. We lit. Let's go.
Shout out Big Homie CC. Shout out to Word T Productions. Shout out to Loose Leaf. Make sure y'all like, comment, and subscribe. Big Homie, salute.
Yes, sir.
DJ, you go crazy.